Hello everybody, and welcome to another episode of Better Know a Highway, here on Virtual Road Trip, where we take a closer look at the highways and interstates that cross this vast country of ours. In this episode, we have an interesting highway with two large cities at both ends and lots of different terrain in between. Interstate 77. And before we get started, as always, I just want to remind you to please hit that like button and subscribe to this channel. I always appreciate that. Make sure to check out the VRT Discord, the link is in the description below, and if you want to support this channel, you can join as a member by clicking the join button down below. I just want to give a quick shout out to my current members, member, and thank you to all of you who support this channel. And if you want to get your name on this cool chart at the beginning of each video, just sign up below. Now, with that out of the way, let's get started. Interstate 77 is a north-south oriented highway in the southeast and Appalachian regions of the eastern U.S. It runs for a total of 610 miles through 5 states and connects several important cities together. Starting at the southern end, I-77 begins in the state of South Carolina, where it runs for 91 miles through the heart of the state. It begins at a junction with the southeast running I-26, just a few miles south of the capital city of Columbia, South Carolina. Its initial length serves as a partial beltway for the city, as it wraps its way around the eastern side, eventually intersecting with I-20, which heads closer to the downtown area. From here, 77 then heads north and out of the area. 77 enters more rural areas for most of the remainder of its time in the state, heading north past smaller towns and numerous lakes with no significant intersections. It eventually reaches the city of Rock Hill, staying just to its east, and not long after, reaching the state line to cross into North Carolina, just to the east of the border-straddling theme park Carowland. 77 runs for 105 miles within the Tar Heel State, in a due north-south orientation. Immediately upon entering the state, 77 reaches the Charlotte metro area, and soon the city itself, one of the largest it will see throughout its length. Heading right towards the downtown core, 77 provides direct access to the heart of the city and its major airport, as well as having important junctions with Interstate 85, as well as 2 with the local beltway I-485 to the south and north, as it encircles the city. Continuing north and out of the Charlotte area, 77 enters suburban terrain and passes next to Lake Norman, a reservoir and popular boating spot. It even passes over the open waters of the lake itself on its eastern side. Not much further, 77 has a significant junction with the major continent crossing highway I-40, which will take travelers to nearby Winston-Salem and Greensboro to the east. The rest of I-77's path in the state is marked with farmland and dotted with small towns, as well as a junction with a portion of I-74 in the north of the state, and soon after, 77 crosses the state line into Virginia. I-77 has a relatively short, but very interesting 69 miles within the state of Virginia, in a mostly north-south direction. Initially, the terrain is similar to previous states, with relatively flat coastal plain. However, after not too long of a distance, 77 reaches the Appalachian Range and the many ridges in the area. A junction with the long-running I-81 leads to an 8-mile concurrency as 77 juts west. Then, leaving the overlap, it again heads north and into the Ridge Valley region. After traversing an initial mountain pass, 77 has the first of 2 tunnels in the area, this one being the Big Walker Mountain Tunnel, which passes under the mountain of the same name for 4,229 feet. Once on the other side, 77 emerges into one of the many valleys in the region, winding its way through and reaching more ridges and passes, including Rocky Pass, then arriving at the second tunnel, this one being the East River Mountain Tunnel. A good amount longer at 5,412 feet, it also crosses the state line that follows the ridge, bringing I-77 into its next state. I-77 makes a long run in the state of West Virginia for 187 miles, more than any other state it passes through. Winding and wiggling its way through the many tight valleys of the mountainous state, 77 passes through quiet rural terrain until eventually reaching the Beckley area, where it has a junction with I-64 and begins a long concurrency with it for a total of 61 miles, heading northwest. 77, now concurrent with I-64, enters its next major population area at the state capital of Charleston. Running along the Kanawha River, first on the south shore, then crossing to the north, 77 leaves I-64 just to the north of the city core, splitting off to the northeast and immediately having a junction with the southern terminus of I-79, just to the west of the city's international airport. Now north of Charleston, and back into the rural West Virginia mountains, 77 winds its way around, passing small towns and crossing some small rivers, having junctions with many important routes in the area. Fun fact, West Virginia is the most rugged state in the entire country, even more than Colorado and Alaska. Once in the northern part of the state, 77 enters the Parkersburg area, staying just to the east of the city and heading further north, running past the local airport and reaching the mighty Ohio River. 77 then crosses the river just next to the town of Williamstown and enters its final state, Ohio. I-77 traverses the Buckeye State for 160 miles along its eastern third. After crossing the Ohio into Ohio, 77 passes next to the river port city of Marietta, then heads further north out of the Appalachian region and into the hills and plains of the east central region of the state, where it has a junction with the major east-west running highway, Interstate 70. Once north of this junction, 77 enters the more populated northeastern part of the state, eventually reaching several mid-sized cities such as Canton, home of the NFL Hall of Fame, as well as Akron, Ohio. 77 junctions and has a brief concurrency with I-76 in this city, and juts west again with it, then resumes north on its own, staying just to the west of Cuyahoga Valley National Park, and then junctioning with another major route, this time the east-west running I-80. I-77's final stretch brings it to the city of Cleveland, traversing first its southern suburbs, and then junctioning with two local spurs, first I-480 and then I-490. 77 then makes a turn to the northwest and heads straight for downtown. However, it terminates just short of it, at a junction with yet another major east-west highway, Interstate 90. This thus ends its impressive 610-mile run. Well, that is going to do it for this episode of Better Know a Highway. Really hope you enjoyed and hope you learned a little something along the way. That's kind of the point of these videos, right? Before we go, just wanted to remind you one last time to please like this video and subscribe to this channel. I do appreciate that. Make sure to join the VRT Discord. Link is in the description below. You'll get some cool discussion and important announcements in there, so make sure to join that. And also, if you want to support this channel, you can join as a member by clicking the Join button down below. And you'll help me keep this channel going, making more videos, and you'll get some cool perks and a shout out along the way. And I definitely appreciate that. So, until next time, make sure you enjoy the ride, and up next, we're back with another double feature, Interstate 76. And I'll see you then.